Man, I hate to admit this, but for years of my life, I struggled with porn. Like, even while I was building my businesses and even while my life looked good from the outside, there'd be nights where I'd be sitting there editing a video, checking the analytics, and then I'd wrap up the night with a habit that I knew was not healthy for me. But the crazy thing is, like, I was still making money during that time. I was still making gains. I was still dating girls. So yeah, watching porn is bad. You should not do it. It's going to have a negative impact on your life. It's going to hurt you in a lot of ways. But if you think that just by stopping this one habit, the rest of your life is magically going to get better, well, I'm afraid you might be focusing on the wrong enemies, because there's a lot of other habits I see guys doing. And I used to do a lot of these too, because a lot of them actually seem like smart, productive, self-improvement things that you should be doing. But at the end of the day, they're actually going to be the real killers that fuck you over far more than porn. So last night, I'm on my laptop, not jerking off. I was checking my emails, and an email comes in from someone who's requesting a refund on an old product that we don't sell anymore. So I'm like, all right, let me just search this guy's order number, see what's up. And keep in mind, I don't get any customer support emails anymore. We have separate teams for that, so they're sending it to an old email address also. I look it up, and this guy is requesting a refund today in 2025 for a product he bought for $97 back in 2019. 6 years later, this guy's asking for a refund because he hasn't got around to using the product. And that's number one, the refund warrior mindset. And you might be thinking, bro, how is this worse than jerking off? This guy's just trying to be smart and frugal, right? Well, if you think about it, what I really see in these situations, and anyone who's a business owner, y'all can relate. I'm sure y'all have all seen some ridiculous refund requests. What I see is a guy who feels so powerless to generate new income of his own that he's trying to cling to these past scraps of little cash here and there by requesting a bunch of refunds and spending probably hours or days going through old bank statements. Unfortunately, I've done the same shit. When I was younger, I would literally Photoshop fake coupons, print them out, take them to Circus City just so I could save $10 off of an Xbox game, until the manager eventually caught on and banned me from the store. But even recently, I'll catch myself trying to avoid doing the hard work. Like yesterday, I procrastinated, didn't film this YouTube video, and instead I was focused on clearing out my Gmail storage so that I wouldn't have to pay the extra $1 a month for the extra 100 gigabytes, pretending like that was the priority. The point here is this: you need to stop focusing on stacking the easy wins that don't mean anything and instead focus on building the hard win that changes everything. So before I uploaded my first ever YouTube video, I spent 2 years preparing myself. I was researching the different camera gear and camera settings. I was working on my confidence so I could have strong on-camera delivery. And most of all, I was building up the courage, if I'm being honest. And the funny thing is, once I uploaded my first ever video, bro, there's no way anyone could tell I spent 2 years preparing, because that video was ugly as a YouTube video could ever be. And guess what? The second one, it wasn't much better. It was maybe a little bit less ugly. And the third one, maybe a tiny bit less ugly. You could barely tell. But by the time I got to 30 or 35 uploads, I was like, oh shit, these aren't terrible anymore. Now they're starting to get a few views. They're starting to get a few comments. And that's number two. You're building something, but not launching it. So maybe you're building a business and preparing like I was doing with YouTube. But a lot of times guys do this with their dating lives also, where maybe you experience some rejection or pain, so you decided, you know what, I'm gonna focus on myself, I'm gonna get my money up, I'm gonna get my body right, and then the women are gonna chase me. So right now you're reading the red pill content and self-improving, but you haven't asked a girl out in the last 6 months or 12 months. Versus instead, if you just launched your current self onto the dating market, yeah, you're probably gonna get rejected. And it's gonna be obvious if you're broke or out of shape, but you're gonna get real feedback, and that's gonna motivate you to improve 10 times faster than if you keep waiting to launch. The same way when I finally uploaded that first YouTube video and saw how ugly it was and got the feedback of no comments and views, well, I had the fire lit under my ass at that point to start improving 10 times faster and keep making the videos better. The point is that success does not come from having the perfect launch. Success comes from having the guts to launch ugly. Now look, I don't want you to launch too ugly, especially not with the ugly face. And that's why I use Tiege Hanley every single day, the sponsor of today's video. So basically, Tiege Hanley is the best skincare system out there for men like me and you because, well, first of all, it works. It's gonna help you get rid of acne, red, oily skin, which is gonna boost your confidence and your looks. But also, it's just so simple and easy to use. I'd recommend you get started with their level 1 system that has you covered with all of the most critical products. You get a daily face wash, you get a twice per week exfoliating scrub, you get an AM moisturizer with sun protection to protect against those wrinkles, and also a PM moisturizer to use at night before bedtime. And every box comes with a simple instruction card that tells you exactly how much, in what order, and at what time of day to use each product. Clutch. And look, I know skincare maybe doesn't seem super important as a man, but I'm telling you, now that I'm in my mid-30s and I see guys around me getting really wrinkly, old looking skin, I wish I started my routine earlier. And don't just take my word for it. Trust the millions of guys who use Tiege Hanley with over 16,000 5-star reviews. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're hooking my viewers up with an insane deal. If you click that first link in description, you're gonna get 40% off your first box of Tiege Hanley, plus they're throwing in a free gift that's worth $20 on its own, and you're gonna get 20% off for life as a Tiege Hanley member. Don't sleep on your skincare. Click that link, get started today. Boom! Oh. So let me ask you a question, bro. What have been the most exciting times of your life where you've had the most energy just to get after something? Because for me, it's whenever I'm about to take on a new adventure. Like, let's move to Spain, baby. It's gonna be awesome. Let's get it. Or let's start a supplement brand. Let's start Gains Club up. We're gonna get rich, right? It just feels like this new beginning. There's all this fresh energy and it's exciting, man. And at times it can be an asset. It can be like a secret weapon because it gets me to take a risk with more conviction and with more certainty. But at times it can definitely be a very dangerous habit. And that's why it's number 3, chasing the new feeling. And unfortunately, I see a lot of guys falling into this trap the last few years where they're really focused on getting in shape in the gym. Then they decide, you know what, I'm actually gonna start a business and that's gonna be my focus now. You know what, I'm actually gonna work on my dating life these next few months and that's gonna be the focus. And to them, I think they genuinely feel that they're being ambitious, they're following the path of self-improvement, they're setting big goals for themselves. But really what's happening here? Well, they're starting a goal, they're trying to start up this business, then after 3 or 4 months, they hit the grind phase where the progress slows down, it gets less exciting, it gets a little bit more boring, so they think, fuck it, I'm just gonna set a new goal now. You probably don't wanna hear this, but the truth is that the winners in life all have one thing in common. They choose one mission and they go all in on it. They bet all of their chips on that mission and they stay committed even when the progress gets slow, especially when the progress gets slow. Because if you think most guys give up after 3 to 6 months, well, simply by not giving up, you're separating yourself from the pack. When do you think this YouTube channel caught on? After 3 months of uploads? No. After 6 months? No. It was about after 8 or 9 months of consistent uploads that I started getting views, I started getting subscribers. And the truth is that it doesn't mean that I was special. It just means that most guys gave up before then. The point is this: changing goals gives you the illusion of growth, when really all you're doing is quitting on your old goal. Gains, bro. Workout complete. I'm continuing to do what I can in the gym, mainly these light machine workouts until I'm cleared by the surgeon to go balls to the wall again. I can't wait for that day, man. But I want to tell y'all something that I noticed once we moved into this house that we custom built in Texas and we got all the furniture in, we got settled in, we got the pool built out, we got the home gym built out. And for a couple months I was telling myself, man, we fucking did it, baby. We've built all this, we've worked so hard for so long. If I've ever deserved a moment to sit back and chill and just let the businesses run themselves and stop putting so much pressure on myself, this is the time, man. And it felt really good for a few weeks. I was waking up later, putting in less hours, hanging out in the pool, sometimes watching 2 movies per day, and it felt good, it felt comfortable. But I also noticed that life started feeling more and more boring. and repetitive, and I had no passion to wake up and live life. There was no drive inside of me, and it scared me. And I realized, man, the businesses are going to go downhill if I continue down this path. And the even scarier part was that for some reason, I just couldn't snap out of it. I was like, all right, I gotta get back to work. I gotta start taking this seriously. But I just woke up with this like laziness that I couldn't shake. And that's why number 4 is the comfort loop. As soon as you get to a place where you feel like I can just chill and rest and maintain, that's the most dangerous place you can be. Because if you think about it, your 2 biggest assets as a man are your momentum and your discipline. And if you sacrifice those things, as I learned, it's not so easy to get them back. And then I got into this headspace where I was like, I can just think my way out of it, or I can just, dial back into the gym and lock into my morning habits and snap out of it. But that didn't work. The only thing that finally snapped me out of it, I wasn't watching YouTube videos or podcasts or meditation. It was just launching myself into a new project. No more thinking, just action. That's when I decided to rebuild the Beastly Fitness app into version 3.0. I started working with the German developers, and all of a sudden, I had all of this work on my plate that I just had to fucking wake up and do. And immediately my energy changed, and I started designing new Edge collections for my clothing brand Edge Lifestyle, and my mojo, such a kind of funny word, my mojo came back. So the key point here is whenever you want to chill and maintain, smile, tell yourself, fuck that, and then just dive into a new project before it's too late. So look, bro, if you take anything from this video, it should be this. Fapping is actually a really good thing. I'm just kidding, bro. Porn is objectively a bad thing that should be cut out. But oftentimes in life, we try and search for a simple solution for our problems. If you just stop fapping, your entire energy is gonna transform and you're gonna transcend all of your goals and turn into a winner. That's bullshit, man. You gotta do the hard work. And I would challenge you to look at the different habits from this video. I'll put them up right here. Identify which one you need to cut out, which one you're most guilty of. Cut that out this week. And that's gonna lead to the real results and the real progress. If you made it to the end of this video, don't stop watching now. I recommend you watch that video next. YouTube has recommended that one specifically for you based on your viewing habits. Click there to watch that now. If you're new to the channel, click down there because I drop 2 new videos every single week and you don't wanna miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.